Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, this is Fabrizio Romano. I'm bringing you a video of me yesterday having an exchange with a bunch of Azimio supporters at Mutembei TV. I usually go there and they do not like me. But I would like to shout out to the host there, Mr. Themba. He was really fair and he gave me time to talk because usually the host there, once they just starts deconstructing their lies or their propaganda, they just kicked me out. But Mr. Themba, he heard me out, gave me an opportunity to respond. So I have to really salute him. So check out what I said and what they said in return, and you make up your mind. If you think, if I was right, if I was wrong or not, that's up to you. But don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, share, and comment, and like. Okay? This is Fabrizio Romano. Here's the clip. Bam.
This election. He already bundled the election in 2017. Okay? But once Baba got into the handshake, those are one of the things that he should have fixed, him and Uhuru Kenyatta. They should have made sure that we have a new chairperson in the IEBC. The whole IEBC should have been restructured. That was even what Maraga said, recommended in his ruling. But here we are in 2022. We are now painting him as a bad person. I actually don't mind him threatening to sue Odinga. Let's see what evidence does he have. We want to find out as Kenyans what happened if indeed he went to Raila's place. What did they discuss? And I also want to find out who is the whistleblower. That's that with Chebukati. So I really can't blame him. He should have been gone a long time ago. So for the Azimio people to say, Chebukati, no. You had the opportunity, you didn't fix it. All right, that's number one. Number two, regarding the Azimio Jacaranda meeting and Kibera, I don't mind it. We have the right to picket. Do whatever you can, but I hear something that's very troubling right now. The tribal kind of stuff that's starting to come out, speeches. And there are people who are talking about they want to march to the White House to take out Ruto. Well, here's the thing. Whether we don't, and I'm not a Ruto fan, I can care less about him, but I'll say this. Whether you like him or not, there's no legal recourse that you can take. Legally, you can't take out Ruto out of office, as much as you might hate him. He was confirmed by any legally to be the president of Kenya. Okay? You can disagree with it, whatever, you can feel bad about it. He's there legally. And the difference between him and Kenyatta in 2007 is majority of the people, not all, there are actually people who don't like him, but the majority of people would rather have peace and have him as the president. Azimio hasn't tabled any evidence that suggests that the elections were rigged, as they claim. Until I see then, makelele wacha wapige. But here's the thing. If they choose to try and take out Ruto by force, ati wanamarch wanaenda White House, my friends, we should be very careful. We should only look at Zaire and Somalia as neighbors. This thing can go bad. It can happen, yes, but to see in the year 2007 was a sign. Kenyans, we need to be careful, okay? That's why Raila, I support him going to those rallies and saying whatever he's saying, but please don't incite people. That's all I can say. Okay, lastly, Uhuru Kenyatta with his speech. I'm always usually brief. Hii mambo ya tax, nini. I don't think Ruto will do anything as far as arresting Kenyatta or doing something like that. That won't happen. They can make a deal and Uhuru should pay his taxes. I don't feel sorry for him. People saying, oh, he's a humble man, wise, he's in Ishaweri. I think you need to go read the Panama Papers. I don't feel sorry for him. In fact, Uhuru, in my opinion, should be in jail, committee. Him and Ruto, the same. But him, there's a reason why he's quiet. He knows. All right. Last but not least, Ruto's performance as a president. He's barely been there. It's less than 6 months. Okay, people are saying, "Hey, there's nothing. He's stupid. He doesn't have a plan. Whatever, whatever." The damage that Uhuru Kenyatta made in 10 years, you cannot fix in 6 months. Let's use our brains. As much as I hate or don't like Ruto, you can't say that, oh, this guy is failing us. He has barely even formed his government. Okay? So when I hear people come here and say, oh, Ruto doesn't know what he's doing. First of all, there are people who are trying to subvert his operation every time he comes in. Oh, we shall come and. That's why I'm saying we should come and join hands with this guy and hold him accountable for what he does. Mambo ya kwenda Jacaranda, the reality is we cannot take him out, and we will not. And if we try to get him out, the Azimio faction, it will be war. In fact, they can be proscribed as a terrorist organization if you choose to do that, forcefully remove him. So all I'm saying is this: let's try to build this nation. And I said yesterday something that people don't like. We have to face the historical injustices before we move forward. Like Mr. Kenya all the time said, hii shida ya ukabila will continue. We cannot brush over that. Itakuwa itaendelea kwa sababu there's some things that happened historically from the Kenyatta's time, Moi's time, Kibaki's time that needs healing. And until then, we shall come here and talk about, oh, Ruto ni sijui nini, sijui Raila ni nini. Those people will not help you. In fact, this current crop of irredeemably corrupt politicians, they come and reinvented themselves every 5 years. Whether it's Raila, Martha Karua, Ruto, Kenya, tuamkeni jamani. Hawa watu wanatucheza. Tuamke. And that's all. God bless everyone. And now you can kick me. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Go ahead.
Nobody is kicking you out. Just stay on there. I mean, here is debating. Now, one thing we need to appreciate. Oh, hold
I
on.
appreciate you.
Listen, no one is kicking you out. This is a house of debate, and you're free to air your views. And also, people are free to disagree with you. I mean, we agree and disagree respectfully.
Yes.
That's why we call this place a house of debate. You don't have.
Thank you.
This is not a choir. It's not a place where we come to say aye to everything. We come
Yes.
to air our views, agree to disagree. Now, I want to bring on Nancy Wakenya. She hasn't spoken and she had raised her hand because she needs to, I think she has something to respond to on what you have said. And then there are also some reactions. We have Lala, then we have Kenyan Kagendo. Then I will after that, then I will allow Nathan Dusi to give his submission. So Nancy, because you have a reaction to Fabrizio, kindly react very briefly. Lala, you'll react very briefly. Then Kenya Kagendo react very briefly to Fabrizio. Let's go.
Yeah. Number one, is it Themba? I've never seen you're the moderator.
Yeah, it's Themba. I'm the moderator for now. What's up?
We have a standing order here. Everybody has to put their camera on, otherwise they get out. That's number one.
I didn't know about that. but now that the moderator didn't know about that for now, just respond to what he said. Then maybe we can revisit that.
He either puts his camera on or he gets out of here.
Respond on the issue, please. Respond on the issue. Stop being cheap. Respond on the issue. That's what intellectuals do.
Calm down, Fabrizio. I'm here to moderate and I'm here to help us move on. So let me handle that. You've made your submission. Just relax. We are not here to push words on each other. I agree with if there was an agreement that people need to have their videos on, that's fine. But for now, since I wasn't aware of that, we'll just respond to the issue that he has shared, and then maybe we can revisit that. So would you want to respond to his issues?
Respond. Yesterday, he came here abusing everyone, came to the comment section abusing everyone, and they kicked him out. They said he has to put his video on. Today, he has found you. That's why he's coming here.
I mentioned Uhuru. I challenge people on Uhuru's place.
Fabrizio,
I did not abuse anyone.
Fabrizio, just relax. I'm on the floor, okay? Now,
Yeah.
Nancy, are you going to respond to what he has said or not? I wasn't here yesterday, so I don't know what happened yesterday. So can we respond to what he has said right now? And if you'd limit yourself to that, and then we move on.
I'm not going to talk to a ghost. I'll leave. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you. Anything you want to respond to what Fabrizio has said, Lala?
First of all, he contradicts himself. He's talking of historical injustices. When are they going to be taken care of? Okay, that's number one. Number two, if for some reason we discover that our president is a Ugandan, not a Kenyan, are you telling us we cannot recall him or get him out of that office? He's legally protected. The man has stolen. The reason why he's in the State House is because he's gone there illegally. So to tell Kenya they are helpless when the power resides with us as Kenya, we can recall anyone. That's why governments go down, okay? Because the people want to. The majority is Azimio 8.1. It is the government who should be able to tell us how they want, open the server. They have that power to do that. They're not doing anything. So for you to come in here, this, I don't know his name is, who the guy is, but to come here to actually put your point across, which is not well thought, to trap us into arguing with you without your face, out there for us to see, is disingenuous. And I think people
I have to
like
respond.
you.
There's a legal framework where you can take out the president.
Fabrizio,
you went,
Fabrizio,
you can go to the court.
Fabrizio,
you can go to the court.
Fabrizio.
Yes.
Now, there's something I usually say when I'm moderating. Hold on, Lala. When I'm moderating, I usually say something. And I think maybe if you are new to me, maybe I need to put this out. I like it when we listen to each other. When someone is giving their submission, do not unmute. Just hold on, he finishes. You've already made your submission, and as you realize, Fabrizio, nobody stopped you. I didn't stop you, nobody will. I didn't unmute as you are talking. Kindly mute. When you are muted, you wait until such a time when I now tell you, okay, fine, now it's your time to respond. You made your submissions, you finished. Can we allow the other people to react to what you said? And then I will give you a time now to say something. Then now we move on to someone else. That is the rule of debate. We don't have to agree with you, right? And you don't have to agree with what every other person is saying. You're coming here to give your views on what you think. People have a right to disagree with you and to agree with you. They may agree with what you have said or disagree with what you have said. I mean, that's the nature of debate, and we don't necessarily come here to sing a choir that Fabrizio said this, that is Bible truth. No. You will disagree with what Azimio is doing. You'll agree with some of it. And that's the nature of debate. I mean, that's what we are. We are here to agree and disagree. That's how we are. So you have already made your submission, Fabrizio. Just calm down. But you don't have to be agitated. You don't have to be upset with people and even start shouting. Just relax. Make your point. They say, Desmond Tutu says that improve your argument, not your voice. So if the argument is there, just improve the argument. Don't raise your voice, right? Just relax. So let's have another reaction from Kenya Kagendo, and then now finally, Lala.
Could I just say one thing? Just the question that I raised.
Okay.
To our friend, we call him our friend. If we discover today that a president is not a Kenyan, do we get rid of him, or is because he's a president he cannot be recalled? That's a question that I would raise to you in terms of your argument, because if someone gets to power through falsehood, then you're telling us there's no law.
Okay. Note it down, Fabrizio, when will be reacting.
Okay.
You will react to that. So let's hear Kenyan Kagendo say the reaction.
Okay, Themba. First of all, we should be seeing somebody's face. I know that comment has come first. Because I remember this guy, he came here, he called himself a lawyer. And if you are a lawyer, you know the law, how it goes in whichever place or whichever country or whichever area. Simply because this is a man who have stolen the win of the country. However, even if he has been sworn in, he have been illegally sworn in because things have come up and we have found that this is not the right man to be in the country. So when you are coming here telling us that we cannot do anything, what are you telling us? We are the employer. He is our employee. And he needs to understand that the law he's not above the law. I don't think so. So he has to abide with the law, how it goes. And when people come to find that this is not the right man whom we elected, we have a right to refuse him and get him out of office. So you're not going to tell us that we cannot do that simply because we cannot do it. We can do it. And Kenyans are going to do that. Fabrizio, you are playing very bad game, even hiding your face. I know the reason, because you have been very rough and very bad, insulting people. So please try to be loyal to your country and don't bash us like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Fabrizio, as you respond, I want to say this. I wasn't here when Fabrizio came before, so I'm not addressing myself to Fabrizio of yesterday and the other day. I'm addressing myself to what Fabrizio has said today. So can we limit ourselves to that? Fabrizio, you don't have to respond to you coming in other days and all. Respond to the context of what has been said. First of all, there's a disagreement that people, I hope you have heard that. So just ignore the other many things, just respond to that particular part and then we move on. I think that will make more. And maybe as you respond, Fabrizio, first of all, can I give you mine so that also you respond to all of them together, Fabrizio?
Absolutely. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. And also, Kenyan, you'll make it brief. Okay, make yours brief, just 1 minute. Then I add mine, then Fabrizio will tie it up all together.
I wanted to correct Fabrizio. And I wanted to let him understand that every presidency is measured. I'm not saying that it is legally or by rule, but from the rule of the thumb, there is something which we call a 100-day scorecard. How comes that he is saying that Ruto has not even assembled the government, yet even governors are being scored on a 100 days scorecard? And then he is saying that it is too early to rate Ruto. When Kibaki became a president, by day 2, we were already rating him because he had done free primary and so many other things. So which other time do you, Fabrizio, you want to give Ruto so that we can say that Ruto has methodologically and has functioned? So what I want to say is that Fabrizio is just defending an indefendable government, a racist government, and a government which is not having an idea. The truth of the matter is, if you don't get it right within 100 days, you never get it right.
Thank you. Fabrizio, together with that, I have only 2 things since the rest have been raised. One, it is the nature of constitution is a living document. And constitutions respond to society issues, not the other way around. Societal issues do not respond to constitution. Constitution respond to societal issues. That's why you have continuous amendments taking place. I want to give you an example of 2007. Raila becoming a prime minister was not a constitutional thing. It was necessitated by the crisis of that moment for him to be a prime minister. So was it constitutional? It had to actually go to parliament for it to be passed and him to be the prime minister at that time. A crisis necessitates something to happen. Number two, Sri Lanka right now, the people went and even ate in State House. There's a constitution in Sri Lanka that says that there's a president and a prime minister, right? So a constitution cannot limit people's search for what they want. The other thing you talked about that I think I didn't agree with was the idea that Azimio will be proscribed as a terrorist group. Mau Mau was proscribed as a terrorist group in the 60s. That is where they start. They proscribe terrorism to a group that is agitating for something. So it is not a new thing. The government can prescribe you anything when they want to respond to you, and that's okay. You know, you can choose as a government you can decide the way you want to respond to maybe to react to to pressure. Pressure from the public to the government of the day is constitutional and is part of what needs to happen. So saying that they should not do that because it is unconstitutional, I mean, that is in my own thinking is a weak argument for agitation for what you think is not right done by the government. And then finally is your assertion that Ruto should not be questioned on his performance. Number one, it's the nature of a politician not to solve your problem. In fact, they will need, even if you could have life presidency like it is in Uganda, they will be happy because there's always something they want to do extra. Why do you set those particular things? Because one, Ruto set himself up and said that I'm ready to work on day one. They say I've been in this government, I know what needs to be done. So the questions that are being asked is not questions about what something different. It's part of what he himself said, that I'm ready to work on day one. Day one has passed, 100 days have passed. There are things that he's yet to do. Those are the questions people are asking. So you can't say it's wrong. And when you're a politician, when you come into power, there's nothing that is new to him. Didn't he expect that there'll be opposition? Did he expect that there'll be people within that will try to counter what he's saying? He's been there. He knows what's happening. So there's nothing that is utopic in what is happening for him. So to start and say that, oh, people have been against him, or people are not supporting him, then finally, if everybody comes and says that, okay, fine, now let's support Ruto to do what he's supposed to do. What is the role of opposition? What is the role of divergent view in a political system? So those are some of the things that I didn't agree with your assertion. However, I agreed with you that we need to fight tribalism. We need to fight the areas that probably we need the government to perform efficiently. I want to allow you, give you at least 2 minutes to summarize the response, and then we move on to someone else.
Thank you very much, Temba. And let me say this, you are the most fair host of all the hosts I've been here. People just don't like divergent views, I guess. So I have to commend you. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry I couldn't show my face because my browser won't let me for some reason. But anyway, let me take this one by one. Where do I start? I never say that we should not hold Ruto accountable. We should. Okay? What I was saying is this. It doesn't make sense. The man has been there less than 6 months. The mess that he has was made is a 10 years worth of mess. You can't judge somebody's presidency in less than 6 months and say, oh, he's a failure. That's number one. Number two, there's a gentleman who said that, I say that people don't have the right to disagree with the president, or they cannot take the president down. This is what I meant. Legally, right now, as of right now, there's nothing Azimio can do to take out Ruto. The constitution is there. And speaking of constitution is a document. Okay, it's the document that we agree on, set of rules that we live by. So if we are to decide today, okay, let's take Ruto out, we go and say, what is the process of taking Ruto out? What charge? Azimio claimed that they were rigged out of the elections, okay? They went to the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. What did the Supreme Court rule? They said, this is nonsense. Go away. Ruto won fair and square. Okay? That's the legal framework in which we operate in. We agreed upon that based on constitution. It said it gives you 7 days. Is it 7 or 14? I have to recheck that. 7 or 14. If you have any disagreement with what the electoral process is, you bring your case and you have 14 days to do that. Okay? And there's some people who are talking, maybe we should extend that to more than 14 days. Okay? So I'm not saying that we cannot take Ruto. If people are dissatisfied with what Ruto is saying, we can take him out, but you have to do it within the legal framework. Going to Jacaranda is fine. You can go there, say whatever you say, but if you decide to march and say, hey, let's go take out Ruto physically, don't start crying if he starts shooting people down, because you're not operating under the legal framework. Okay? What was the last one? I forgot the last one. What was the last one? Oh, the 2007, when you say that the constitution should work for people, and it was a time where the prime minister position wasn't within the law. Here's what I say. If you can remember, it took Condoleezza Rice to fly out from Washington to come and broker peace between these two individuals after people were killing each other. Okay? And then we brought on Wakinawaki, Kriegler, and everybody else. It was Thabo Mbeki, Kofi Annan. Okay? It was international community who came and intervened because we were heading to civil war, if you can remember. Okay? Those were, and that's what I'm trying to say. If we decide now that we are going to take Ruto out and Ruto starts shooting, it might go back. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope I answered all your questions. I will not keep it. I don't want to make it a Fabrizio thing. You guys can discuss and disagree with me. Thank you very much, Temba. You're the best host ever since I've